Good day everyone, this is Mama Aduko and today I'm going to continue the last part of our chapter lessons, which is the percentage, ratio, and proportion. Okay, so how do we define proportion? So proportion refers to the equality between ratios. So we have following proportions. Okay, following proportion written on the whiteboard. Okay, so we have 3:6 equals 9:18, and then we have another set of proportions. We have 9/3 equals 81/27. So as I have discussed earlier on my other videos, that ratio can be expressed in fraction form. Okay, so we go back to this proportion. 3:6 equals 9:18. Okay, so there is a rule for this proportion. Okay, so the rule is that the product of the means equals the product of the extremes. Okay, so where is the means of these proportions? So the means are the value 6 and the 9. Okay, so these are the means, which means they are in the middle. Okay, so means the value 6 and 9, and the extremes are the numbers 3 and 18. Okay, so this values are the extremes, which means they are the outer numbers. Okay, so the rule stated that the product of the means 6 and 9 should be equals to the product of the extremes, which is 3 and 18. Okay, so let's see if it will be equal. Okay, so 6 times 9, okay, according to the rule, will be equal to 3 times 18. Okay, so get your calculator, guys, and do the computation. So 6 times 9 is 54 equals to 3 times 18, which is also 54. Okay, so this ratios 3:6 and 9:18 is proportionate. Okay, so this means that they are equal. Okay, so we go to the second example. Okay, so our proportions are in the form of fractions. So what are we going to do? We have to do cross multiplications of the fraction. Okay, so we do cross multiplication. Okay, so 9 times 27, and then equals 81 times 3. Okay, so we have to see if the product of the cross multiplication will be equal. Okay, so 9 times 27 will be 243, and then 81 times 3 is 243. There are 3 types of proportion. The first one is the direct proportion. The second one is indirect proportion, or we can call it inverse proportion. And then the third one is the partitive proportion. We go first to the first proportion, which is the direct proportion. We call it direct proportion when a number is directly proportionate to another. When as one value increases, so does the other. Like example, when the value x increases, then the value y at the same time increases. Or the value x decreases, the value y also decreases. So that is direct proportion. I have here an example of direct proportion. If 3 notebooks cost 15 pesos, how many notebooks can you buy with 60 pesos? As I have discussed earlier, direct proportion is when one value or one variable increases, the other value or variable increases as well, or the other value decreases, so the other variable also decreases. So in this problem, the values here or the variables is the number of notebooks and the cost of the notebooks. Okay, so the number of notebooks is directly proportional to the cost of the notebooks. Okay, and the problem is asking for how many notebooks can you buy with 60 pesos. Okay, so we need to find how many notebooks we can buy with our money, 60 pesos. Okay. So if 3 notebooks cost 15 pesos, okay, so the 3 notebooks cost 15 pesos, how many notebooks can you buy with 60 pesos? Okay, so we assign x to the number of notebooks with the cost of 60 pesos. Okay, so the next step is we perform cross multiplication to find the number of notebooks. Okay, so x times 15, okay, then 3 times 60. Okay. So 3 times 60 is 180 divided by 15. Okay, so the answer will be 12. Okay, so it means that we can purchase 12 notebooks for the cost of 60 pesos. I have here a second example for direct proportion. A box of pencil costs 30 pesos. How much do 4 boxes cost? So the problem is asking for the cost of 4 boxes. Okay, so our solution will be for every box of pencil, okay, so it will cost 30 pesos. Okay, so the problem is asking for the cost of 4 boxes. Okay, so 4 boxes, and then the cost, we represent the cost here as x because we do not know how the value of x, and then we simply do cross multiplication. Okay, so x 4 times 30. Okay, so the cost will be 4 times 30 will be 120. Okay, so it means that for 4 boxes of pencils, it will cost 120 pesos. Okay, so an increase of pencil, boxes of pencil will also increase the cost of the boxes of pencil. We go to the second type of proportion, which is the indirect or the inverse proportion. A number is indirectly proportionate to a number when as one value increases, the other value decreases. Like for example, when the value x increases, the value y decreases. When an increase in one quantity results to a decrease in another, it shows an inverse proportion. Okay, so example of inverse relationships, the time and speed relationships. As the speed increases, the time of journey decreases. Then another example of inverse relationship is the number of workers and the days relationships. The more workers a company has, the lesser time it takes to finish a job. Okay, so that is an example of indirectly or inverse proportion. I have here an illustration for inverse and indirect proportion. It takes 4 men 6 hours to repair a road. How long will it take 8 men to do the job if they work at the same rate? So the problem is asking for the time it takes 8 men to do the job if they work at the same rate like with the 4 men. Okay, so we know that this problem is an inverse or indirect proportion. So it shows the number of men and the number of hours relationships. So the number of men is inversely proportional to the time taken to do the job. Okay, so we can see here when one value increases, the other value decreases. So the variable here or the value is the number of men. Okay, and then the other variable is the number of hours. Okay, so more men, less hours to do the job. Okay, so we're going to find the number of hours for the 8 men to do the job. Okay, so we're going to assign T. Okay, so let T will be the time for the 8 men to repair the road. Okay, so we're going to make our equation. Okay, so 4 men, 6 hours to repair a job. Okay, and then while 8 men, and then T time, since we don't know how long it will take for them to repair the job. Okay, so we do the multiplications. 4 times 6 is 24 equals 80. Okay, so we find the time. Okay, so 24 divided by 8. Okay, so the answer will be 3 hours. Okay, so it will take 3 hours for 8 men to repair the job. While for the foreman, it will take them 6 hours. So we can see the inverse proportion in this problem, or the inverse relationship in this problem. We go to the third type of proportion, which is the partitive proportion. Okay, so a partitive proportion is when a whole is partitioned into unequal or unequal ratios, or let's say when a whole is divided into more than two parts equally or in unequal ratio. So this is the concept of partitive proportion. I have an illustration here on the whiteboard. Karen wants to donate her collection of figurines to 4 friends in the ratio of 1:3, 3, 5. She has a total of 96 figurines. If her best friend wants the most number of figurines, how many will she get? Okay, so how are we going to find the number of figurines her best friend will get? Okay, so we need to find given in these problems. Okay, so the problems, okay, so it says that Karen has a total number of 96 figurines, and these figurines, okay, she wants to donate to her 4 friends, and then these 4 friends will receive the figurines in the ratio of 1:3, 3, 5. So this means that, okay, so one of her friends, the first friend maybe, will receive 1 share. Okay, best friend B, the second friend will receive 3 shares of the figurines, and then the friend C, or the third friend, will receive the same quantity, 3 shares, and then her best friend will receive 5 shares. Okay, so as I have discussed a while ago, partitive proportion is when a whole is divided into more than 2 parts equally or unequally. Okay, so the problem says that Karen has 96 figurines. Okay, so we need to get the ratios. Okay, so total ratios. Okay, so 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5. Okay, so we need to add that 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5. Okay, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so 12 shares. Okay, so Karen has 96 figurines. Okay, since she want to give it in the ratio of 1:3, 5. Okay, so 96 figurines divided by 12. Okay, so the answer is 8 figurines. Okay, for every share. Okay, so now we'll be able to determine the quantity of figurines her best friend will receive. Okay, so who do you think is the best friend here? The 1 ratio, the 3, or the 5? Okay, so 5 is, the ratio of 5 is her best friend. Okay, so 5, okay, 5 shares times 8 figurines. So it means out of 96, she will have 40 figurines. Okay, so Karen will give her 40 figurines. Okay, so how about the other friend? Okay, so friend A will receive 8 figurine. Then friend B and C, 24 figurine. Okay, so let's try to add. Okay, so 1 times 8 plus 3 times 8 plus 3 times 8 plus 5 times 8. Okay, so 8 plus 24 plus 24 plus 40. Okay, so 32. So 32 plus 24, so 56. 56 plus 40 is 96. Okay. I have another example for partitive proportion for you to understand better. Okay, so when a partnerships of X, Y, and Z agree to stipulate a capitalization of 100,000 pesos, and the partners are to divide the said capitalization in the ratio of 1:2, calculate the partners' capital contribution. Okay, so the problem is asking for how much will be the amount, okay, or how much will be the capital contribution the for the 3 partners. Okay, so the ratio is 1:2 is to 2, so it means there are total number of 5 shares. Okay, so 1 plus 2 plus 2. Okay, so there are 5 shares. Okay, and then the partners or the X. Okay, so 1/5. Okay, multiplied by the amount of capitalization 100,000. Okay, so it will be 20,000 pesos. Okay, partner Y, okay, is 2/5. Okay, multiply by the capital contribution 100,000. Okay, so 40,000 pesos. Okay, so then partner C, okay, the ratio is 2/5, and then 100,000 pesos. Okay, so it means partner Z will have to contribute also 40,000 peso as capital contribution. Okay, so partner X, okay, will contribute 20,000 pesos. partner Y will contribute 40,000 pesos, and partner Z will contribute 40,000 pesos. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial on proportions. I encourage you, dear students, to watch and learn on my other tutorial videos about fractions, decimals, and percentage. I hope you will learn a lot from our tutorial videos, and I encourage you to study better, okay, and be encouraged in this time of new normal. And don't forget to click like and subscribe to our channel Bright Mind. God bless and well done everybody.